Months ago, I read Will by Will Smith, and honestly, it fascinated me. Not necessarily the fame, not the movies, but the wiring. Must say though, I love how Will shows his love and affection, and maybe that's my love language speaking. But after reading this book, it was clear that I would love to hear the other side of the story. I had to jump in and read Worthy by Jada Pinkett Smith, which I just finished. From this book, something clicked for me that I did not fully grasp when I first read Will, and I finally understood the partnership between the two of them. And honestly, I think in a strange but beautiful way, both their journeys are where they are now because of the experience that they have had together. It's not perfect, as we have seen. Let me remind you of the Red Table episode between the two of them, the entanglement situation, and the dramatic episode at the Oscars where Will completely lost the plot. But the relationship is real. The kind that requires work, honesty, patience, growth, and an extraordinary level of commitment. But let me give you a nice review on these two books. Let me start with Will. Highlights of Will is how unapologetically disciplined Will Smith actually is. The book lays bare his obsession with excellence, his fear of failure, and his relentless need to win. You see how his childhood shaped his ambition, how performance became protection, and how success became both a gift and a trap. The book explains the entertainer, the movie star, the global icon, but more importantly, it explains the man who's constantly negotiating between ego, love, and purpose. This book is reflective, it's vulnerable, and surprisingly spiritual. Then comes Worthy. Jada's book is raw in a completely different way. Where Will feels structured and driven, Worthy feels emotional, intuitive, and brave. Highlights for me include her deep exploration of self-worth, identity, and voice. She does not shy away from discomfort. She confronts her past, her pain, her relationships, and her need to be seen and heard on her own terms. Her upbringing, her relationship with culture, and her refusal to shrink herself suddenly makes so much sense. I appreciated her far more after reading this book than I ever did before. Now, what makes these two books super interesting is the intersection. You begin to see how two very different people chose each other again and again. How their relationship was not about ownership, but about building a life together while still becoming themselves. Profound sense of commitment to growth, both individually and as partners. That kind of partnership that is absolutely awesome and actually more like spiritual work. And yes, I have to say this, Jada